Hi, my name is Willie, and my Chinese name is Shao-wei. I'm my student number is S074107, and I'm freshman in the NCUE, and I'm in the Department of English.
My name is Pamela. My Chinese name is Zhang Jinpei. My student number is S074127. I'm freshman in NCUE. My department is English.
Hello, I'm Jackie. My Chinese name is Zhang Zekai. My student number is S074117. I'm a freshman at NCUE and I'm an English major.
And today we are going to talk about a movie called Love Actually. And so first, let me discuss the first questions. What is your most impressive scene in this movie? And these questions, let me answer first. I think that the part that there's one writer and the other one is her like housekeeper or something. His housekeeper, yeah, and they both speak different languages. But at first, they can't communicate. They can talk to each other, but the most unforgettable thing is that one day when the writer's writings beside a lake, and suddenly his housekeeper wants to change his cup of tea, but she just take up the cup and then all the papers flies away into the lake. And at that time, his housekeepers didn't think of anything, but she just take off her clothes and jump into the lake to take the writer's papers. I think that was really cool. And at the end of the movie, they gradually learned how to speak their languages. Like his housekeeper learned how to speak English, and the writer learned how to speak Italian or something. Portuguese, yeah. And they both, because they love each other, so they both do their work hard to let others know that their love is really is true, yeah. And how about you?
I like the end of the movie. That's Daniel tried to make Sam to persuade the girl he like. I think it is very precious because Daniel really like his son, and he want him to persuade his love. I think I really like this part.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, as for me, I think uh, the most impressive part for me is the singer and his secretary, because his secretary never leave the singer alone when just because the singer was an old school singer, no one likes him anymore. And I think the the old singer became famous at the end is partly because of the secretary's help, because even if he was famous, he had found many other people help him, and he went to some radios, yeah, and TV shows, and the singer turned the friendship into another relationship, right?
Mm.
Yeah, and I think that's the most impressive part for me.
And also, I think that the singer actually he's a singer in the reality, and and the song he sang was really exists, yeah, and
Christmas
that was
is
really
all
cool.
around.
Yeah,
Right.
it's like it's hard to imagine that there was a hit songs and it just it only changed one word in from the other songs, and that makes these songs become a hit songs. That's, yeah, it's really hard to imagine. And okay, so the second question is, who do you think is the most impressive characters in this movie? And I think it's the Prime Minister, yeah, because there's one thing that the American president visit his office, his countries, and at first they are discussing some political issue, but after the British Prime Minister, leave his office, and then his secretaries just came into the rooms, and the American president just do something unrespectful to his secretary, and then the prime minister noticed that. So after the other days, they have a press conference, and the prime minister changed his mind that he wants to protect his country's dignity. Like, he doesn't want anyone to take their like, he's not the person who always agree to anyone's offers. Yeah, he has the obligations, he has the responsibility to protect his country instead of letting American say that, oh, we are friends, but actually they do something bad to their citizens. So I think that is a brave actions. Yeah, because although a prime minister loved his secretary so that he will do these actions, but the way he transformed his love into the other, like into his country, is very impressive. Yeah. How about you?
I think I like the Daniel and Sam, the character I like most, because Daniel is their father, and since Sam's mother died, he want to love Sam. He also, at first, Sam is sick about loving the girl he like, and he now want to close to Daniel, but Daniel try to talk with them and try to open his mind. And finally, they know each other, and Daniel try to make Sam watch some movies like Titanic to makes them to know the love really is. I think it is really touching for me.
Okay, and as for me, I think the boss is who who impresses me the most because he is very successful in his own business, so he can make his step to being a boss. But as for his family and his loving condition, I think it's a bit wrong because at first he was loyalty to his wife and his kids, but sometimes he lost himself suddenly just because of the worker, and I think it's good for him because he finally at the end he knew he was wrong and he asked for his wife and kids forgiveness and never never close to the worker again. But you know, at Christmas, he bought two gifts, both a gift for his wife and a gift for the worker, and the same decoration but not the same content, not the same gift. Is a CD player. Is it a CD player for
album.
yeah, for his wife, but the necklace for the worker, I think is a bit unfair because his wife has been his company for such a long years, but the worker just maybe just like half a year, half a month, or a few weeks, but he bought her such expensive gifts, so I think it's a bit unfair. Yeah, and his wife knew that he had the gift in his pocket of his coat, right? And so he chose the gift first, but it was not what it was, what he thought. So she was a bit she was a bit disappointed. Yeah.
I think that the reason why the boss wants to buy more expensive gift to his workers is because like he's bored with this relationship because as we can see, both of his child was like grew up like 9 or 10 years old. So this marriage is probably last for like 10 years or maybe longer. So I think maybe he is a little bored with this relationship. So he wants to find something new, something that can charm him. Yeah, to find and that makes him can get some excitement in it. And his workers try to charm him, try to attract him many times, and
especially at the party.
Yeah, because before before they were planning the party, his workers she just keep saying something mantra, like imply some love effects or some meanings behind her words. So I think then the boss was a little bored with his marriage, and that makes these relationships happens. But I think his wife was very nice because she knew that she's not only his wife but the two children's mother. So although she's upset, she still need to be strong, yeah, behind their kids. So I think that was very it's very it's not easy to be like that. Yeah, she she cries in her rooms, but after she can come out her room, she need to pretend that she's happy to receive the gift behind his children. Yeah, because as a mother, she didn't want she didn't want her children to let them know that, oh, your father doesn't like me, and he even bought some more expensive gift to his worker, and that will make some bad impressions to his children. So I think his mother was really, yeah, a nice person.
So do you think it is suitable for the wife to forgive her husband? Is it?
I think, yeah, because I think everyone will make some mistakes, and to have another love affairs in a long-term marriage is it's really a common mistake that means especially in the middle age they will do some mistakes, yeah, at this age. So I think his wife probably know it, but she choose to forgive him. Maybe it's due to his knowledge, I think, because she's studying psychology or something. Yeah, so probably she knows that's the men's humans like every humans will make some couple mistakes in his or her life. So that's part of them. So I think, and eventually his husbands came back and then repair the relationship at the end. So I think it's worth it for his wife to forgive him. Yeah. And what do you think?
I think it is right for his wife to forgive him because I think in a marriage, sometimes we will meet some difficulties, but if we can use communication to get through it, I think the end will be different because if his wife just keep shouting at him, but didn't want to deal with these things, and the thing will getting worse and worse. But his wife tried to communicate with him and try to protect her children and her family. I think it is right.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the wife should forgive her husband because just like what Willie said, everyone makes faults, makes mistakes, and as the saying goes, a friend indeed is a friend in need is a friend indeed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So let alone husband and wife. So I think maybe the worker can bring her husband some excitement or something fresh, something new, but it's not a long-term goal because it's only about the happy part, not something bad, something negative.
Mm-hmm.
And I think husband and wife can come across some difficulties together to face some problems. Yeah, and to solve the problem each other together to mend their relationship. So I think maybe the husband was wrong for a second, and now he wake up.
Mm-hmm.
He woke up, and yeah, I think he would never do that again because he had done it wrong once. So there will be twice again.
Mm-hmm. And after these discussions, here we have some relationship that we can discuss. So, and the first one is there's a marriage in this movie, like it was the black man called Peter and his wife called Julia, and Peter's best friend called Mark. What do you think of these the three people's relationship? Yeah. I think it was really like interesting because I think Mark loves Juliet, but he due to the reason that Peter is his best friend, so even Peter is going to get married with Juliet, Mark still loves her.
Juliet.
Yeah, but as a friend, he needs to give his blessings to them. So he make a plan. Yeah, he make a plan to sing some choirs. You know, they play the harp, piano or something. Yeah, to sing a songs, to sing a choirs, and he make a really nice wedding ceremony. But actually, the Mark in Mark's hands, the videotape was all about Juliet. And you know, at the Christmas day, he just go to their house and say that, oh, I'm just the one who's singing carol. But actually, the word cards that Mark bring to Julia is like he loves her. Yeah. And Mark finally got Julia's kiss in the end. So I think at first they are not that complete, but after that day, I think all the misunderstanding will be solved. Yeah. What do you think?
I think Mark like Julia, and in Christmas Day, he tried to show her love for Julia. I think it is alright because he want to create a relationship that he loved her. She want to create this relationship that he don't want to hurt his friends and their friendship. I think it is alright because after Christmas he will try to try to forget he really loved her.
Mm-hmm.
I think I like the character Mark the most because at the wedding, Mark tell Peter that he had prepared no surprises, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when they were to walk out the church, yeah, a singer and a carol and some piano players and some music instruments came out, and the what's the word?
Attendant.
Yeah, the attendants pretenders just like normal attendants, but at the end they came out with instruments to surprise them and make an unforgettable wedding for them too. Yeah, and Mark took a lot of videos and photos all about Juliet because he wanted to catch the woman's most beautiful day in her life. So yeah, Mark really loved her, but Peter was her very best friend. So he would rather hide his emotion to give the best wishing to Peter and Juliet. But at the end, when Mark went home and lived as a normal life like before, Juliet came out. Juliet appeared again, just to want to get her videotape, and she found the tape was all about her, and she was really touched, and so Mark decided to do something on Christmas Day, and I think it was really brave for Mark. Yeah.
So that's the relationship between them. And okay, so the last question is like, have you ever saw the scene that at the beginning and the end of the movie, they in the airport and they just came out from the doors and all the families or friends they hug each other? Have you ever saw this in any movies or in reality? And what do you think of this scene? I think I once went to Hong Kong, and one of my relatives live in Hong Kong, and after we arrived in the airport and we came out from the door, and they just holding like a paper or cardboard, say that showing our names and say welcome to Hong Kong or something. So I think that's cool, and because my relatives are all like senior citizens, like they are over 70 years old, so I think that was really nice things to do. Yeah, that's very special. And do you have this experience?
Yeah, of course. We do. We all do, because even if I have never been abroad, I have been to the airport a few times, and I would do the same thing, because when the relatives or your friends come to Taiwan from another country which is very far. Yeah, you would thank her for her coming, and you would like to, yeah, and you must have been missed him or her a lot. So you would want to give him or her a hug and some caring words. Yeah. And the part that I think Sam was going to do was wrong. Don't do that.
Yeah.
But I think I don't know her name, but we know that Mr. Bean. Yeah, and he did a big favor for Sam because he pretended that he was losing her or something like
plane tickets.
Yeah.
Finding plane tickets, and he asked her to take their bags.
And the security was concentrated on him, and he didn't notice Sam. So Sam could run in the waiting something.
Security gate, the waiting room.
Yeah, the waiting room, and to meet the girl again. So and to tell her what he really thought about, and at the end he got her kiss, which was valuable. Yeah.
So, and do you have any?
I don't have this experience, but I think
You will.
but the thing at first and in the end, I think is really touching, because I think the world is full of love and hope. Everyone actually love each other. It's not like the news reports that express the world is filled with war and harms. The love is actually in our life.
I have so a couple that was looks like 80s or 90s. They were classmates in elementary school, and one couple in Taiwan and one couple live in America. Yeah, and I saw it in the airport. Came back from America to Taiwan like 60 or 70 years later to meet their elementary school classmates. Yeah, and it was really touching because they can maintain the good relationship for over 60 or 70 years without meeting each other. Yeah, I think it's very touched. They are both a bit not very convenient at working. Yeah, but I feel touched because of their truly love, their caring words and their hearts. Yeah, even if they haven't seen each other for such a long time, they could still recognize each other, and just like they just came back to their elementary school time, Yeah, like playing with each other 60 or 70 years later. I think it was quite good.
Yeah, okay. So thanks for everyone's sharing, and that's the end of our discussions. Thank you.
Bye.